Well, I think that it's important for everyone to understand that we have been conditioned to be afraid. We're aliens and we live on a planet that's floating out in the universe. Like, we have these eyes and these hands and our arms, and like, we're just used to seeing each other.
People have this massive awareness campaign. What do you feel would be next? Have you received any visions of what could be next after that event that unfolds?
So one of the things that the guides talk about is the new earth that's unfolding. And you have lots of conversations about that. A world that's created once again, that has existed before, where everyone's using their clairsenses. Everyone is collaborating, cooperating, and working through love and living in love.
What is the importance of activating our pineal gland at this time?
Pineal gland is your activator, it's your antenna of sorts. Connects you to the world, to the realms that you do not see, you do not know. We are offering you the opportunity, pineal gland meditation, to activate your pineal gland in a way that you have not done before.
Pamela Downes, welcome on Just Happen. What are you most excited about right now globally and in your life?
Besides being here right now, you mean? I'm so excited right now about the rapid ascension that's happening with the people that I am connecting with. And when I'm on podcasts and I talk about my story, people connect in such a beautiful way because they see themselves in me. And so it shows them, that there's possibilities, there's opportunities, that they are not strange, weird, cast aside. They are just like me and many, 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 many others. Me being the witness to aligning with my soul's path and my soul's purpose is showing people that they can do that too. And then what happens is I wind up working with them, and then I'm uncovering their soul path, which is then fueling my soul. But like, it's amazing. I'm most excited about that right now, really being able to help people. And it's happening fast, and it's coming quickly. And the last couple of months, it's been just unfolding more and more and more and more. So yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting time.
And your story is really relatable to a lot of people because, you went through recession times, divorce with children, and then things started to get a little less relatable in the sense that you were led to the plant medicine realm through a series of synchronicities that activated you and opened you up to this psychic realm. Mm-hmm. So what was that leap of going from all of these hardships in the human 3D landscape and then having these breakthroughs multidimensionally and psychically afterwards?
Yeah. So each moment, if you want to take it and put it into part one and part two, kind of part one was the realization that I am larger and more than what I was told that I am, which is just this, and seeing a crack in reality and diving into it to discover more, and listening to that higher guidance, that wisdom, my intuition, whomever, whatever it was at the time, that was saying something's off, something's not right. I want to learn more. I want to do more. I want to discover my own truths. What am I in alignment with? Using my own discernment. Those experiences over and over and over again give you strength and power into moving forward continually, right? And you start making some small moves like exiting religion, exiting a marriage, changing work, redefining relationships in your family, taking back your power, those small things, listening. Is this what I want to do? Do I need to move in this direction? Should I experience this book? Should I go to this retreat? Like using those tools. You're continually honing your skills, your intuition, your opportunity to connect to that higher guidance which ultimately leads you, you're on your spiritual awakening journey. Da, 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 da. Let me go discover this and discover that. And then you start your healing journey, which you don't really know you're doing. And you start healing some of the things that you've brought with you from other lives to this life, healing your current life, your past life. And you're raising your frequency with every healing, with every piece of your soul body that you're healing and putting back together. You're raising your frequency. So you get to a point, I guess you can say you jump, but you get to a point where those decisions become larger. They become more defining to really your soul's purpose and that path that you're ultimately here to uncover and explore and to travel on. Everything happens for a reason. You have a certain amount of love that you experienced in your life, that you understood, that you received, that you gave, that you understood about yourself. And the more you show up in those ways I just talked about, the more love you're expressing towards yourself, and the more opportunity you're giving yourself. Self-expression of love, continually. You're putting deposits in, right? And then you're using them for new things. And when I kept hearing that my marriage contract was over, I was looking at marriage as a whole, as loving experience, as an experience of love. And was I receiving love in this contract, in this exchange, in this relationship? And I ultimately came to the point where, no, I wasn't. And I wanted a deeper love. I wanted more because my vibration was rising. So no longer was this acceptable. It needed to be here or beyond. And I remember sitting in my office in a corner crying, listening to that, like struggling, suffering, listening to that higher guidance telling me, Pamela, it's over. It's done now. It's time to move on. Well, on the other side of that jump was all of this, was the second part 2. I've never talked about it in this way before, but it makes sense, sort of, right? Mm-hmm. And little did I know that taking that huge leap of faith, disrupting my family, leaving a marriage, moving on into this world by myself, creating an income for myself, not only me, but my children, taking on all the responsibilities. But I knew I could do it. I knew there was something more. I knew. And when I made that choice and took that dive into the part 2, everything started changing. All the people started changing. All the experiences started changing. All the opportunities started changing. And I say this so many times, and whoever follows me, they're probably like, can you not say this again? But the game board changes. The players on it change. They just kind of go away and new people come on, and you start having experiences that bring other new players on the game board. And it's an expression of courage. It's a constant expression of courage. Here and now is courage, channeling the Great Council of Light is courage. Signing up to do a retreat in San Diego in the fall is courage. All these unknowns, just like leaving my marriage, just like doing this, just like doing that. And it doesn't happen overnight. For some it does, but my journey has been leaving fear, moving forward through love, leaving fear, moving forward through love. And knowing that experience with plant medicine was just one thing that I had to do to get to the next part of it. And the experience that happened after the plant medicine, where the light came through my head, I felt my whole body go, and my teeth in the back of my head. And I felt love, 100% love, source energy, fill my body up. And I heard, your psychic abilities have been enhanced. Everything will be different from this moment forward. And it was different than it was before. And before was different than it was before. And before was different than it was before. Right. And right now in 2025 is different than it was in 2019, November. So I signed up somewhere, somehow, in some reality, in some space and time to come back here and now, to do this work, to have this conversation, to, share this divine guidance, to help people uncover their soul's purpose, to create this community for people to explore their spirituality in a safe place where they don't feel judged or labeled. I signed up for all this now, and I believe in it, and I know it with all of my being that this is what I'm supposed to do right here and now. In 5 years, I've been told other things, and it's big, so I cower, and I say, me, I'm going to do that. Oh, I said that about the trance channeling, and I said it about leading a spiritual community. I'm just stepping forward with that faith and trust and that guidance and love for the path. Did I answer your question?
100%. And
Good.
what's beautiful is that I love the way that you split it up into part 1 and part 2, because even though everyone's spiritual awakening journey is different, you can determine when was that before and after. And for me, I relate a lot to you, because after my transition from part 1 to part 2, I had a journal with me by my side that I would write a lot of thoughts and ideas and things that were coming through. You also had that experience of a journal that we're bringing through and deep diving into what came through in that first initial stage of this huge awakening. Your psychic abilities got enhanced. Yeah. Walk us through what was in that journal. Obviously not the more private things about you, but what you would like to share at this time of what you were writing down, essentially.
Yeah. So when I came back from that ayahuasca retreat, I was suddenly coming from the jungle, a high vibration experience with all these beautiful high conscious people, having these new realizations about myself. I was alone. I didn't have, anyone around me. And suddenly the world was shut down, and it was COVID. And I was given this gift of time. There was a kind of I had to get acclimated to my environment. It was hard because when you have experiences like that, you're like, suddenly I have to go back to my concrete jungle and my meetings and my schedules and my networking and all this other stuff. I run a marketing and branding firm. And so it felt like I was just in this space of complete understanding and awe and wonderfulness. And then suddenly I'm in the rat race again. And it was so hard to integrate. I'm very passionate about integration. I know that's a part of the part 3 and part 4 and 5 and 6. But something told me, Emilio, sit down, sit in silence. In front, I have this bank of windows, and I had a forest on the other side of that. Sit down with intention and say, I am here. I have seen what we've accomplished together that I had a part in, but I am being guided in. I want to explore that more with you, collaborate together, to work together to see more of what that is. So if my psychic abilities have enhanced and I'm starting to have visions and I'm starting to hear things and see things and know things, and it's all amplified on steroids, what else am I supposed to do? So I sat and I started having experiences because my frequency elevated. I did so much work through the medicine week. I healed past life stuff. I healed this life stuff. I took, healing and trauma that kind of went to my daughters, and I retrieved, it was amazing, beautiful things. I worked on my relationship with my mother, my relationship with my father, these realizations, these memories, all these things came back, and my vibration rose again, and they rose again. So when I was sitting there with intention in 2020 by myself, I invited my guides. I really didn't know, a lot. I mean, I had been watching for years, Abraham, Esther, channeling Abraham. I was really very, very attracted to, and I felt like the people like Daryl Anka and the people that were tuning in that movie, I felt like they were my friends. I used to listen to them constantly. I used to go on a walk and just listen to the movie over and over and over again because I felt connected to them in some sort of weird way, And I knew of channelers. I had opened a channel because I heard about it in that movie, and I had all of these psychic experiences happening. But I said, let's work together. And this group of collective divine feminine energies came in, buoyant, effervescent, bubbly, like they were floating and bubbly. And when they came in, I started doing and living these past life experiences, these past life deaths. I know it sounds bizarre, but I did. That's how the journal started. I recorded every single one of them, and I would write down what happened after them. I would go through the actual death experience, which was excruciating, like neck back and hanging and torture. And like, I remember feeling like a fly on the wall, experiencing myself experiencing it. So I had to go through that. And then I had to release the sorrow and the emotion of it. So there was that needed to be expressed out of me. And then my vibration would raise. I did that over and 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 over again. And then I was at a point where my frequency rose to a certain vibration. And I remember this one day, I had all this pressure in the back of my head. It's called the Atlas. And I had done a lot of research on it, and certain people who were channeling had that energy trained to come through that. And I remember I would have the pressure when I was working with the guides, whomever it was at the time. And then suddenly one day, I could almost see it. It was like, and I heard myself going, and it was like, and like came in, and it, because they were trying to match my frequency for me to be the channel to take the information in. And so that went on for like a while to integrate and calibrate together to be able to receive that. And the work kept on happening. And then then what happened was I started experiencing different kinds of beings, different frequency beings. So they live in different dimensions. They're a different frequency, and they feel differently. They look differently. They have a different language. I started experiencing them. They would come in and I would hear their language. I feel like they're with me still. I would draw them in my little journal and because I could see them. This is the book. It's just a little,
the sacred text.
Yeah, nothing fancy, just a little marble notebook from the CVS. But it was just like and originally it was created for something else, the Book of Positive Aspects. I had written on there, and it was just trying to create, what's 2020 going to be? I did keep feeling something was coming for 2020. I did keep feeling that. I kept saying something's coming. I feel something coming. I didn't know what was happening. A lot was coming. And so these beings, I've worked now with different people, and I've had experiences with different practitioners and people that I've worked with through the years. But what happened was I was getting to be so open that I was just this. I used to say I felt like a galactic hotel. They were just coming in, making themselves known, letting me experience them, and going out. And then it turned into this like marathon. It was not easy, but because of the experiences that I had, and because I knew I was being held, I knew that I was safe. I knew I had to show courage. I knew I had to sit in the seat of courageousness. I knew I had to show love for this path. Like I just knew. So it kept me moving forward. And all the experiences were shaping the picture of what all of this is. I don't know if you know music, if you've created art, if it's a process. So you have to see it to understand it. I had to feel all of these different frequencies to understand who I'm at now, channeling the Great Counts of Light, who are super, super, super high frequency beings. But I'd have experiences with low dimensional beings. I'd have experiences with beings in the middle of the night. Low entities would come into my body, and I would call Jesus in all the time, and they would exit. So I would feel them. I would feel them around me. I started seeing them. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and there'd be two beings by my bed standing. I mean, it sounds scary, and it was at the time because I didn't know what was happening, but I kept on moving forward. That's why community is so important. That's why ultimately when they gave me the guidance to create the community, it's like I was like the proof of concept for what everyone needs right now, so that I can share it with them because I know what they're going through, if that makes sense. So I have some of the, do you want to see some of the drawings?
Yeah, well, you mentioned you were an artist and you had to see these things in order
Yeah.
to understand them.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of those drawings that you put in that journal before, and it's extraordinary because it's the detail. And,
Yeah.
walk us through what you were feeling when you were seeing these beings. And hopefully maybe we also get to tune into what we feel as well while you show these
Yeah.
images.
Well, I think that it's important for everyone to understand that we have been conditioned to be afraid. We're aliens and we live on a planet that's floating out in the universe. Like, we have these eyes and these hands and our arms, and like, we're just used to seeing each other. But like, there's so many different beings out there. There's so many different beings. So one of the first ones that I saw, can you see this? This is, okay.
Let me see.
That's Avriel.
Wow.
Can you see him?
Yes.
So he's this super, super tall Palladian being. He's light blue skin. He has white long hair. He's extraordinary. He's very handsome, and he's very statuesque. And he has a blue velvet jacket on with brocade that goes down. I mean, I could see the brocade, and it had iridescent quality to it, like gorgeous. He's always over here. He told me his name is Avriel. He was one of the first beings to come in, and there were always two feminine energies with him. So whether, I haven't talked to him or experienced him in a while, but I always felt so much love from him. I call him a him, but, then there were these little guys. See them? This is not the most beautiful artwork I've ever created, by the way. I have paintings all over my office.
Wow. It says they have a cloak.
Yeah. They're cloaked, and their color was like a nude kind of clay color, and they were small, and that's how they were. They were kind of in this space with these eyes, and they spoke like this. That's how they speak. Yeah, it's exactly how they speak.
And were they, like these two examples that you showed, were they just allowing you to see them, or were they communicating something to you?
They were speaking light language. At the time, I was probably getting the intel of what it was while they were speaking to me. But they kind of come in. They're almost like a little squad. Like, one of them came in today. They did this. I had this, I'll tell you about it later, but I had this work done on my neck yesterday. So it's very sore. And it was spiritual work. And they came in today, like they made, maybe because we were going to have this conversation. I didn't know we were going to talk about this. They came in today and they spoke when I was doing light language, when I was working with them this morning. And it's almost like I know that I'm a part of them. Wild statement, but it's true. I feel like I know them all. We've all known each other. They've come in to be here with me now at this time for this work. They're loving beings. They just live in a different frequency, in a different dimension. These are the three guys that were next to my bed. See the bottom?
Oh, those are kind of like gray type beings, right?
Uh-huh. And at the time they were like this. They were putting these like threads, these energetic threads were coming into me. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was always something new that I was experiencing, but I wasn't afraid. This guy, tall, feminine, thin, goggles, white reflection, all black, shiny and slick, black suit, big goggles, long and lean.
Looks like Spider-Man.
He looked like wet. He was shiny.
Interesting.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting?
Wow.
They're freaky looking though. You look at them.
Yeah. How did you maintain, in a sense, neutrality when you're seeing a being, a conscious sentient being that is so different from you? Like,
yeah, that scared the crap out of me. To be frank, that one was like, they were just there. They were just there. But I was getting used to it. I had a friend, Kelly, who I went on a Reiki 1 retreat to learn Reiki with her. I didn't really want to learn Reiki, but I was told to go. I learned about energy. I learned about the chakras. I didn't know any of this stuff. And during the attunement of that retreat, my throat chakra blew wide open. I having a past life experience. I was foaming at the mouth. She, is a practitioner and a friend, but still, like, she's on her own path. They can't be there 24/7 to support you. There's a part of it, she probably knew, that I needed to be just completely submersed in this experience to work through it. The great unknown. People think, why would you do that to yourself? You're going to be possessed. You're possessed with demonic beings. And no, what you don't understand is that there were always high frequency love beings. Jesus was always with me since I was a little girl. I was not alone. I wasn't vulnerable. It was new. Yes, I didn't understand it. There were times when I was afraid, but I was always also supported in a very, very, very high frequency, loving way. This is a really rudimentary, like, basic sketch of, I have a beautiful drawing that I can send you of a fake alien invasion that I saw. I woke up in the middle of the night. And I saw myself witnessing this event, and I saw myself having zero fear. I saw myself having an understanding that it was not what it was presented to be, that it was a man-made experience, a human-made experience to scare us. And there are the things that, confuse people. That's why there are immediate reactions when it comes to ETs and stuff. But those of the population who are shifting rapidly, the ones I talked about, who want more, who see more, who understand more, the old narratives don't resonate anymore. They want new, they want truth. They're making their own judgments. They're using their discernment to say, yeah, no, how can I possibly keep that small perspective when it's so big? It doesn't feel right.
Right. And what's interesting is, being in this third dimensional realm, it's 50% light, 50% dark. And when we're here working in this collective ascension to tip humanity into higher degrees of light, into higher frequency dimensions, like the 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever it is, those of us, and it's all of us here listening to this, that are here working in the ascension, we often get guides and maybe even wider auric fields of protection to help us from these lower dimensional energies.
Yeah.
There's an experience that you had in Las Vegas when your team said recede. If you want to tell us a little bit about that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a great example. Perfect segue. I am showing courage. We didn't get to this yet, but I just came out in a big way in January of this year on Next Level Soul and channeled live on Alex's podcast. And he said, Pamela, when did you come out of the spiritual closet? And I was like, I didn't think I have, Alex. He's like, I got news for you, kid. You're doing it right now. And it's truly, what was that? January, we're in June, right? And from that experience, someone saw me on a very, very, very large podcast that's not spiritual. They reached out to me personally and asked me to be on the podcast. And I was like, Spirit, why do you want me on this? And they said, you have always known that you are supposed to reach the masses. You are for the scratchers who are waking up with that glass ceiling that breaks. People stop in their tracks. They don't know who and what their world was created to be, what they're supposed to believe in, and they're going to need a safe place to land. This is a part of that, Pamela. You must do this to be able to be seen by the right people who need to see you. And there's a step in this whole process of events that are going to unfold in the future. And it's an integral part of it. It has to happen. So I said, okay, I have to go to Las Vegas to be on this podcast. And I've never been there, believe it or not, 55 in a few weeks. Never been to Las Vegas. So 2 days before I go, my alarm goes off. I wake up, my eyes aren't even open, and I hear remain sober. And the guides have never told me that before. I've asked about all of that, and they always tell me it's not a concern. Like, the mission is so much larger. The frequency is so much higher. Like, don't worry about it. And when they said that, it was like, oh, okay, this is important. I get in the shower every morning. I do my own ritual in the shower with the water. It's a huge conductor, and they come in, they realign me and do all the things. They started talking to me about the experience in Las Vegas. And they said it is such a low frequency city. There's so many entities and energies that are running rampant there that I really needed to protect my frequency. So 0 alcohol, because that would lower my frequency, even in the slightest way, because of the purpose of that city. It's gluttony, it's Sodom and Gomorrah in an energetic way, they were saying. They kept showing me. So I went, and I didn't enjoy the frequency of the city. Take it or leave it. I could go if I had to again, but would I choose to? Probably not. And I went, I did the podcast. It was amazing. The guides came in and blew out the sound system like they had done at Next Level Soul. True story. And I mean, the energy, the system. But I got back to the hotel room, and my partner who was with me, my colleague, Dina, she also felt the frequency. We didn't enjoy it. Her flight was earlier than mine. And I was laying in the dark trying to say, okay, let's just work together with the guides. And I was feeling so unsettled. I was having attacks by these lower dimensional beings. They somehow I got fearful, and then they started feeding on the fear. And I called my beloved and I said, I want to get out of here. I'm not enjoying it. And he said, you're almost home, baby. It's all good. So he said, just leave the hotel room, go to the airport. So I was in the shower, and I felt them. I saw them. These large reptilian beings were coming towards me, and I was working with the guides, and they went, recede. I hope that didn't blow out your sound system. I mean, that's how they did it. And then they went, recede. They did it on both sides, and I saw it happen, and I was like, that was an experience for me. That was an experience for me, and that was just a couple of months ago. But I am guided, I am protected, and I know that, but I still am a human having an experience in this 3-dimensional reality, learning continuously.
Hello, beautiful family. Quick one today. I just wanted to take a moment to thank each and every one of you that have subscribed to this channel. Your subscription means more than you know. Even though it's free, what you're doing is you're empowering a whole channel to be able to do this every single day and continue showing up in the way that we can with all of our resources on hand. Thank you for contributing to the growth of this channel, for sharing it with the people that you love, for creating a conscious movement of individuals that are seeking the sovereignty and the divinity of their soul. This is why we're here. And if you haven't already and you're enjoying this content, I invite you now to look below on that little button that says subscribe and welcome you properly to this community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are and being pure love and radiating that with everyone that you see. Back to the episode. Yeah, that's so interesting, because you brought up the glass ceiling breaking, and the guides, they told you that, and you sort of had to interpret that on your own, and you interpreted that the reality and truth of the world will be breaking and shattering people's reality. I'm going to feed into another maybe interpretation of that, which could be maybe a glass ceiling breaking is sort of a dimensional piercing through the veil of our world into the other universes and dimensions, because we realize that we are multidimensional. And you also had a vision of different spaceships in the sky. Could that have been one of these dimensional pierce throughs or glass ceiling breaks in our reality? What was that about?
Absolutely. Most definitely one of those. In the peppering of all of the events that I've seen, all the various timelines, which they told me war in 2020, they told me volcanoes, they told me tsunamis, they told me stock market crash. I mean, they told me all the things. One of them was I saw the vision of thousands of ships in the sky as far as the eye can see, just hanging out there in a giant awareness campaign saying, hey, we're here. We are benevolent. We are you. You are us. We are here. And it was merely that, people got the opportunity to see if there was no denying that this was a real thing. And it was like, it was an event that they were creating. And they've said that that's a high probability. Do I know when that's happening? No. But most definitely that is a piercing of the reality for sure. That's everything shifts and the consciousness goes like, yeah.
Wow.
I know. I want to see that.
I think we all do. As long as it's benevolent, right?
Yeah.
I have a master's degree in digital marketing. So when you use the term awareness campaign, I know what you're referring to is like when a brand, floods dollars and campaign money into getting people to become aware of the brand.
Yeah.
And there's always also a second step. Once you have awareness of something, then what?
Retention.
So retention, exactly.
Yeah.
So in this perspective, once people have this massive awareness campaign, what do you feel would be next? Have you received any visions of what could be next after that event that unfolds?
Yeah. So one of the things that the guides talk about is the new earth that's unfolding. And you have lots of conversations about that. A world that's created once again that has existed before, where everyone's using their clairsenses. Everyone is collaborating, cooperating, and working through love and living in love. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that world will be like? That is the goal. That is where we're moving towards. But there has to be a breakdown of what's here now. And we're all aware of what's happening now and the shifts and that dynamic lower density frequency that's losing its grasp on our planet. As the planet's consciousness shifts, as our consciousness shifts, the planet's vibration shifts. I mean, it's all a part of the giant picture of the future. A return to the ways that once existed before, and, healing spaces and, beautiful, beautiful places. I wish I had a channel message on hand. I'll find one and send it to you. It just makes they paint this picture of beauty where it's just, it seems so to someone who hasn't been traveling in this world or, experiencing and learning and all the things, it might sound like a fairy tale, but it's obtainable. It's what we were created to be. And, you asked earlier, what am I really passionate about? It's getting that connectivity ignited in everyone. And I was channeling a message from my community and this pineal gland activation meditation came out right through. I didn't know I was doing it that day. I didn't know. And when it came out and I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, they kept telling me, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. People need it now. They need it now. They need to work on their connection now. So I did it. And when I was recording it, they came in and they infused the energy into it. They actually lead the meditation, and people are having profound experiences. They're decalcifying that pineal. We have the tools is what I'm getting at. We have the energy centers. We have our clairs. We have our pineal gland. We have connection. It's all there. We've just been taught and conditioned and brought into a world that tells us we're small and has shut down all of that for us. So it's the reawakening of those beautiful spaces and those beautiful opportunities for ourselves.
And in order to get to that more beautiful world that our heart knows is possible, like Charles Eisenstein would say, you've seen visions of us going through this great reveal. And a large part about that is understanding how our world was really created. And I know there's different people coming out with different information of how they see that larger picture. But I'm wondering, for what has come through to you, your greatest understanding of how the world was created, putting your own little piece in this great reveal, what would have you felt into about that?
That we are, I don't like labels and terms, but we have been denied who we truly are, the essence of what we truly are. Our DNA has been manipulated. The guides talk about it in the Pineal Gland meditation, that our strand has been manipulated, and the ways of being on our planet, the food that we consume, the news that's pumped out to keep us in a lower density frequency, the enslavement into our financial systems, into our education system, into our food systems, into all the things. It's not, it's not all rainbows, and it's not all like fun and happy things to talk about, but it is absolutely a reality. If you follow the great David Icke, who has sacrificed his whole entire life to share what he knows, I respect him so much and I honor him. I, especially having put myself out in this way the last 4 years, is that he just like, once you can't deny it. That our world is not what we think it is. It's been created for us. And, we get born into a system that's predetermined. It's pre-created. I mean, my kids were born and they went through a healthcare system, and they had to go through a whole bunch of things when they were first born. And then they get indoctrinated into school right away, and they're taught what to believe. They're taught our history. They're taught all the things, our governments, or they're taught about certain things in the world. It's like, it's brainwashing, sort of, really, if you think about it. Take a higher perspective of looking at our planet for they've never seen it before, and look at our systems. It's strange. And, my kids weren't even graduated from high school yet. They were making decisions about college, and they were already getting all of these credit cards came in the mail that they don't know how to use. No one's ever taught them in school about finances, about how to save, about best practices with money, about any of the things. But they give you a card to start getting you entrapped in a system. And in that system, we don't know how to navigate or manage. If you're not awake and aware, you get yourself under something. And there's just, you're supposed to get married at a certain age. You're supposed to get a mortgage at a certain age. You're supposed to get a house at a certain age. And you get a car, and you're supposed to do all these certain things. And that's what I broke out of, is that I am not going to do the X, Y, and Z because they don't feel right. I'm going to start doing new things. And that's what everyone's experiencing now. All of those things I just spoke about that are created that way are to keep us small, to keep our vibration low, to keep us worried, stressed. The vibration of the food that we eat is low vibrational food. That's why there's fast food joints everywhere. That's why in the refrigerator, most of the food is processed. That's why, there's so many things I could say, Amelia, like in certain cities, certain people are kept certain ways and certain frequencies because they're magnificent beings. And if they were allowed to be who and what they're created to be, they're more magnificent than the beings that run our world and created these systems. And all of that is shifting now. Entertainment is shifting. Hollywood is shifting. Our government is shifting. Last year, the 2024 predictions and energy update video, they said that people in the entertainment industry and music industry will fall far from their positions. We started seeing that before the turn of the year. And, that's a part of it. Did I answer your question? I go on and on and on, and I go down another road.
I love it. And you brought up the magnificence of who we are. What do you feel will be that road to remember our magnificence and who we truly are?
Yeah. It's stepping into the space of wanting to discover who we truly are. It's taking the conditioning and breaking it wide open and allowing that divine connection to permeate our being, to let it express itself, which we are a part of. to understanding that we are oneness. We are all a part of everything. You're a part of me. I'm a part of you. We're a part of nature. We're part of everything, the cosmos, everything. And breaking that understanding of that smallness that we've been created to believe we are, and to know that we are magnificent creators is what the council says. We are magnificent beings, magnificent creators. That magnificence has been dulled. And so when we return into that, we are expansive. We are fully vibrating at a frequency that is, where we're supposed to be. That's truly when we start to express those small steps towards that, you're gaining more and more and more and more and more and more understanding of it, which is allowing more and more and more and more of it to permeate your being, your daily life, your everything that you do. And so I see often I see these little lights ping, ping, ding, 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 igniting all over the planet. And so it's that full expression of all of it lighting up.
You mentioned these visions that you get to see almost on a daily basis, and things that are happening, things that will happen. When have you found it most useful to share a future vision with people, with the public? What is the discernment there for you?
It's hard because I don't really want to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to do it. It's like they tell me to do it. And when I created my community and I launched it in January of 2024, they were telling me to share what I know, So I was doing it inside of my little soft and cushy, lovely community where everyone wants to hear things like that, which was a step out for me, And then in October of 2024, I was working out and I kept hearing, you need to share it's time. You need to share your visions. It's time. All the things that you've seen since 2020, start sharing them. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. You need to share it. So I went up into my loft space where I can kind of think and have space and can meditate and stuff. And I said to the council, you want me to do this now? Yes. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm afraid I'm going to do it. And I'm in front of a bunch of windows and this bird went into the window. And it was like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. I get it. And it's not so much like it's a compounded answer because it's a combination of things. It's me finding my strength to do it. It's me finding the courage to do it. And then it gives me the power inside of myself to do it more. It's like I had to start doing it. And when I do it, I tell them, if you want me to share something, you got to give me a really strong vision. You got to give me a really powerful download, because I don't want to do it for sensationalism. Like I don't want to do it for clicks and likes. And it's not why I do it. I do it because the beautiful messages that they share with me in the community every month about preparedness and all these things, teaching our community and the world, because I share it on YouTube also, to work on your individual frequency so that you can rise above that lower dimensional frequency when the chaos, when the things happen, when the stuff happens, when you have to witness things. You won't just be like taken up in it. You'll be able to look at it and have your own discernment about what's happening. And when they give me like specifics, like, and I'm learning this skill just like everybody else is learning whatever they're doing. I'm trying to take my 3-dimensional understanding and put words and concepts and, ideas to what I'm seeing, to what I'm hearing, and to express it in a way that people can learn from it. Like I channeled the July message this morning. I can share it with you later. And I say, give me something to feed. I stopped saying, give me. I said, share together, because they say we are we. It's not I and you. A message to support the community, to feed them, to make them light up, to guide them, to teach them. And they also say, yes, Pamela, but also to prepare them, because it's what I'm here to do is to share these things. They've talked about in the 2025 predictions video simultaneous attacks that are coming to the United States that come from within the country. They're already here. It's almost like it's a surprise, I guess is a good word, but it's planned. And it's going to be broadcast for all to see simultaneously, very, very quickly at the same time. Now, that's something that I have seen in the past. I don't know when that will be. I don't know all those things, but they gave it a time frame. Of course, things can change. Everybody making a decision affects the collective experience, but they say that there's a high probability. I think that's exactly how they say it. It's a high probability for that to come. And they want us. They love us. They're not trying to scare us. Honest to God, they love us. When they come in, they're beautiful, loving beings. And I'm with them. We are together doing this. If you could see how my life unfolds, if you could see what they do to help this and to help humankind, the intention is love, Emilio. People receive these messages with the level of fear that they have within themselves. So they're vibrating at a certain frequency. And so the people who need to hear it will hear it. The people who are not meant to, I guess they won't. Or maybe they will eventually. I don't know. So to answer your question, when I really feel like they're telling me to do it is when I do it. I love to share love. I love to talk about all the beautiful things, more than anything else, of course. And there's lovely messages if you check out all my channels. But then there's got to be this stuff too. And it's hard. I mean, I've heard other channelers say, I'm done. This woman, Tina, on TikTok, who my friend knows, she's done. Because it's not easy. It's not like I'm like, can't wait to share a prediction today, And so everybody understands, like, I run a branding, marketing, communications firm. I have a full-time gig. I'm respected in the business community. I have clients. That's my livelihood right now. I do this because I choose to, because I am called to. There's a difference there,
It's definitely a calling. And I'm curious to know, what has been the most powerful vision that you have received recently?
Oh, it's about me. Does that count?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm very connected to Jesus. I feel like I actually felt like he just came in because I thought of him. I get so many things all through the night. Even like things about my family and my children, and my beloved. And I saw Jesus came to me. He came right into my face. I see him beautiful, and just his vibration just fills me up. And then I saw an image of my throat. So it was almost, you're in digital marketing. It was almost like a rendering / mechanical drawing / technical drawing, but rendering of a neck. I knew it was mine. And it was wide open and it was clear. There was nothing in it. I knew what that meant. And directly after that, I saw one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other of these. They were like Polaroid images of these people going, yeah, woo, yeah, like celebrating. And I knew that it meant that I have all this past life trauma in my neck. That's why I go like this so much, because I'm still working on my neck. I knew that I was having a clearing of the neck. I knew that was going to happen, which was huge for me. Something I've been working on since that time I told you about in 2017 or something in Costa Rica with the Reiki attunement. And I went to visit my friends, the Skeptic Metaphysician podcast, New Reality TV Network. I'm a content partner there, Will and Karen. I went to see them at a metaphysical expo or whatever. And I did a little excerpt with them on live TV. And they were like, you need to go down at the end of this row. There's Patrick, the energy healer, angelic healer. And I was like, that sounds cool. I want to check everything out. I want to do all the things, I want to meet all the people. And so I went down. I didn't even stop at all the other cool people that were there yet. I just went there to say, you have any sessions? Yes. It's an hour. Wait, cool. I wrote my name down, and then I walked around and I met all these people. I networked and stuff. he cleared my freaking throat chakra. There's a certain frequency that I hold that not everyone can work on me. This man, everyone should visit him. Patrick the Angelic Healer is no joke.
Shout out.
Shout out, Patrick, you bad boy. He's awesome. He's like, you would never expect him to be an angelic healer. He's like this. He looks like a little Santa-ish, a little bit, but with these blue eyes. And he's a badass. He was like right on my neck, and I could feel it, and it was incredible. And we had a moment. I posted it on my YouTube. I posted the picture. But that happened. I mean, and that's like, profound for me. And that helps all of the things that I'm doing. It heightens it. It clears me. It helps advance me to receive more guidance and more messages and all the things. It's cool.
Yeah, I love that, because it's also a reflection of the whole of, we're going through a global opening of our throat chakra, and people are being inspired to share their truth in the world, whether that's online, in their private communities, whatever it is. Everyone is being called to speak from their heart and what is true to them. And that's beautiful. And you mentioned how filled of love these beings are that you work with. I'm wondering if they would like to come through for a message to leave us with today. If you feel comfortable with that, we'd love to hold space for it.
I just have to tell you that I love you. You're just the sweetest human. You have such a beautiful energy. Honestly, I've of all the podcasts I've ever done, the space you hold for your guests is incredible. And thank you for asking. So yeah, they would love to. Don't get, they come in really. I know.
I've seen it. I'm ready. I
might hit the microphone, so everybody just don't know. And I'm also, you can hear I'm a little hoarse because I went through a clearing yesterday, again, with Patrick, the Angelic Healer. Mm-hmm. Yes, we are here. We are here. We are happy to be here. Yes, indeed. We are happy to be here. Yes. As we have said in the past, we are sharing now with you. There is a shift coming on your planet. You have spoken of today. Yes, indeed. Vibrational shift that is in the making now. Yes, we beseech you to work on your individual frequency and your vibration, caring for your exploration, spiritual sense, as well as your mundane three-dimensional reality, day to day. What is it you are doing, consuming? What is your work? Who are you sharing your space with, your conversations, your time? Is it in alignment with your best and highest efforts? We beseech you now to share yourself with your loved ones in a way that is wholeheartedly opening your heart to them, sharing your love, expressing yourself easily, constantly. For now, you will see changes shifting rapidly. And we implore you now to communicate with all who will listen. If you have an understanding of your knowledge of the worlds, of other worlds beyond your three-dimensional reality, share with people that are around you, expressing all that is. You are creator beings, yes, we have said, magnificent in nature, omnipotent, beautiful beings of light and love. We are happy to have been here today to share this message with you. We will continue to share guidance for your ever-changing world. It is our highest and our purpose for you now to support you in these endeavors.
How's that? How did you feel?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Could I ask them a few questions? Is that all good?
Yeah, my heart's like racing.
Gotcha. Is this a short one?
Okay.
A short question.
This is new too. I have never used to do this with my hands. Yes, we are here.
What is the importance of activating our pineal gland at this time?
Ooh, it is a good question indeed. Pineal gland is your activator. It's your antenna of sorts. It connects you to the worlds and the realms that you do not see, you do not know. We are offering you the opportunity with the pineal gland meditation to activate your pineal gland in a way that you have not done before. We are elevating the frequency around you. expressing the importance of that mechanism within your brain space to work within the crystals and activate that antenna to the other worlds. Yes, the pineal gland is receptor, receiving higher guidance, higher dimensional wisdom for you to calibrate within yourself. Working repeatedly in the meditation will let you continually put effort towards that communication and express that within yourself. Indeed. It's true. It's almost kind of what they said in the meditation.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing. And they just gave me, sorry if I'm taking over, they just gave me a womb activation meditation. And let me tell you something. You know, they're like, do the womb activation, got to do the womb activation. Not last week in the week, got to do the womb activation. I met with 3 different people the following week. I channeled it on a Monday morning. Monday afternoon, I met with someone for soul path coaching. I said, what is it you want to work on? I want to work on the womb. It's incredible. The next day, someone told me they wanted to work on the energy of the womb. Thursday morning, I led a group in Perth, Australia of women. Someone asked me, Pamela, do you work with spirit babies? I said, please tell me what that means to you. I want to work on the energy of my womb. The meditation is healing past life trauma, this life trauma, clearing the pathways for future life. It's igniting the DNA and the energy and the wisdom that's in the womb of the walls, or the walls of the womb. It's incredible, Emilio. It's like, these are really cool things, you know, they care about us. If they didn't want us to heal and work with these, I feel like it's like a resource center down there. It's like a station.
Yeah.
And so is this, right? This is a station too, that pineal gland.
What do you feel we've misunderstood about the womb over centuries for humanity?
Are you asking me?
Whoever wants to answer.
There's no misunderstanding of the womb. There have been experiences within your lifetimes throughout your soul's journey where you have had trauma in your womb space. Yes, there have been experiences now on your earth's plane, conditions that have been created for you that have changed the space of the womb. We desire to help support humankind in the population of your planet and creating new children that are higher and better frequency. Yes, indeed, to support that effort. The womb has been affected tremendously through medication, through energy, through trauma, through stress, through communication. I just saw the ways of our world. I actually just saw a young woman walking up to a pharmacy, those morning after pills, like all that shit, it affects your body. That's what I just saw. So sometimes I see things while they're speaking to me.
It's incredible that
it is incredible.
You know, they talked about the womb. My understanding is the womb is the portal through which we enter the third dimension. And they just brought up the new children. So it's almost like they're wanting us to clear certain things from the womb so that these new children can come in.
Yeah.
Why do you feel, what about these children makes it so important for us to do this healing and do these clearings and activations?
Yeah. They're a higher frequency. So these star babies that are coming in are a higher frequency, and they are for the new earth. They are for the new earth. They are for the new earth. And there's a depopulation agenda. So there are things that are put into our systems I just saw something recently on YouTube about the population of all the countries in the world and how they have to be at a certain percentage for population to continue. And now every one of the countries is in a lower percentage of where they should be for population. That's interesting. I've never heard them say
like the
that.
Population is aging
as a
you
whole,
mean?
To keep the humans populating the planet, to keep it filled with humans. The word population is not in the womb activation. So that's really fascinating. I'll send it to you. You can read it.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be interested in it now. I know.
For
I know
sure,
you don't
for
have
sure.
a womb.
An energetic one.
Right. I want to help everyone so much. And so I'll read to you. So womb activation was the next one. Severed relationships, healing of a marriage, and self-love. And then they told me I'm supposed to make a bundle for women and a bundle for men. It's so cool. Right? So
they're marketing gurus out
I
here.
mean, I swear, maybe that's partly why I had to go into marketing in my life. I don't know. Everything has a purpose, right?
Everything. We're planting seeds from our higher self.
Yeah, it's so cool. I didn't know you had a marketing master's.
Yeah, I got it last year and a half. It was pretty recent. I was still doing the podcast while I was getting my master's.
Good for you.
So it was very interesting learning about retention awareness and then channeling,
You too are going to market all of these things.
I was Hannah Montana. I had a double life out here.
You were Hannah Montana. It's great.
Wow. Well, Pamela, before we end every show, we have a segment called the Final Trio, which are some final questions that we ask at the end. But before that, where would you send people to connect with your love, with all of the beautiful offerings that you have in the world, and how to connect with you and your community?
Thank you for asking. The beautiful spiritual community that I created is called Spirit Calling. Isn't that a great name? I didn't. It's not mine. It's theirs. And inside of it, it's like a spiritual Facebook. So it's a place where there's a feed and there's groups. You can go and you can share what's going on in your life, the bumps in the night, the images, the visions that you're seeing, the downloads, all the things. And you won't be judged. You won't be labeled. You won't be told that you're weird or strange. But it's a really cool place. I create a custom sound healing every month just for the community. It's original to the community. There's weekly events. I'm very, very, very active in it. There's actually an event going on in 30 minutes. I built it to have a community space inside of it. So it's like a live meeting room where anybody at any time from all over the world, they can say, hey, Emilio, meet me in the meeting room. I want to talk to you about this thing. Or, hey, I saw you were having problems or an experience in the middle of the night. I had that. Let's hang out in the meeting room and talk about it. And then there's courses and there's resources. A lot of the videos and things that I experienced are there for people to learn. And then I have like a handful of high vibratory aligned professionals that I put in there. They're just in there because I feel like it's important when you're on your healing journey. You don't know who to trust. You don't have any experience. You don't know even about a cost or who's the right practitioner. You might work with someone they don't feel right. Everyone in there has a frequency that aligns with the community. So they're there for you and they lead sessions. It's cool. So that's spirit-calling.com. On my homepage are the meditations. You can check them out. But one of the newest things that I'm offering is a mastermind. It's 10 people, me, my colleague Dina. She facilitates this much like Esther and Jerry Hicks. She asks the questions and leads and I answer. And it's a monthly gathering with the council to really learn to, hear that calling, answer it, and to live it and what that means. And then I do soul path coaching. So I work one-on-one with people. This is really popular and it's amazing. The people that are coming want to do higher and better. They want to satisfy that pull for something more meaningful. And they are creating a space. It's intensive. They're creating a space to work with me for 3 months to discover those things. And we're pulling in guidance from the council. So it's all on the website. My YouTube channel is at Spirit Calling Pamela. My Instagram is at Spirit Calling Pamela. TikTok's at Spirit Calling Pamela. And then in September 27th and 28th, I'll be at Transcendence Retreat in San Diego. Bashar's going to be there. I'm going to be able to meet Daryl. I can't wait. I'm so excited. He's going to be like, girl, you get away from me. But there's all these cool people. Ann Tucker's going to be there. I think she's been on your show. Aaron Abke, Sarah Breskman, Cosme.
Love all these names you're saying are just pure love for these people.
It's amazing. Yeah. I'm so excited to be a part of this. And I'm going to be there. And I'm going to talk about ET's dimensions and frequencies and, abundance and all the things. And I'm going to lead people in that pineal gland activation, which I'm excited about. But if you use Spirit Calling, pass or discount code, you get a little discount on it. And then I'd love to offer your audience a discount on every single thing that I offer, 15% discount. So they can put in, I'll let you know what that is. You can put it in I guess I'll do just tap in 15. How about that?
Let's do it. I love that. I love that.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. But I'm so happy to have been here and had the opportunity to see you. I'm so glad this space opened up for us.
Yes, very synchronistic.
Yeah.
Very synchronistic.
Totally. Yep.
You're right now where I grew up. Like, yeah, we found a lot of commonalities before we started recording. Beautiful. So we'll include everything that you just mentioned in the show notes and the links in the description. And also for the final trio, the first two questions are personalized to the guest.
Okay.
And the last one we ask at the end of every show. The first one is, what is the spirit of humanity calling us toward right now?
Ooh. I mean, it sounds simple, but love. Love. It's a large word and a simple word at the same time. You've been told all you need is love, love, I love you. And you use it haphazardly, but love is so big. And love is who we are. So it's, like I said before, putting love at the forefront of everything. Stop fighting. Stop creating contrast. Stop speaking just to speak or to be heard. Start listening. That's love. Start having empathy for others. That's love. Right? So that's what I think.
Simple and complex at the same time. If awakening is a process of remembering, what's the most important thing that you've remembered so far?
That I'm a badass.
Yes.
Did I give it up?
Yes. We're not even going to bleep that out.
Don't.
We'll leave that in there.
Leave it in there. Because, I mean, if I've been tortured and killed for so many freaking lifetimes doing this shit, like, I'm like, damn, I can't not do it now. Because they've told me I get to like complete it and all. Like, I have to show up. So I would say a badass.
I love it. I love it.
It's funny.
This last question we ask at the end of every show, we call it the time capsule question. It requires us to travel out a little bit into the future, 15 to 20 years. And I chose out those time frames because I believe that's going to be a time in history when the young generations of today, your children, younger than that even, will be stepping into leadership positions around the world. And just like any great leader that ever existed in history, they had great mentorship, great access and resources to knowledge, wisdom, tools, everything that you can imagine that equips them to be the best leaders that they can be. And you are given the opportunity to leave behind a time capsule for these leaders right now, but that they would open in 20 years down the line. Inside of the time capsule, you can include anything that you want. It could be something physical, non-physical, whatever your imagination can conceive of, but knowing that whatever you include will be the most important things that you would leave behind for the next generations to lead into this new earth that we've been talking about. What would you leave behind for the next generations?
What a question. Wow. That's a hard one for me because I want to do so many different things. It's like, do I want to do something that's so basic that they can't believe that it was just so simple? And do you know what I mean? Or do I want to do something that is so complex that they were almost there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm finding it hard to find an answer, but maybe it would be one of these beautiful, beautiful channeled messages that was created to serve humankind at this moment now, to show them that that world is ultimately coming in the future. to show them that we were being guided, that it was there, and we were trying to get there. Like, I feel like they'll have compassion for us when they see what we were in, sort of, if that makes sense. Because do we have that now? We have understanding. Look how far we've come. It's only been a couple 100 years, and we were just discovering these new ways of being and so rapidly advancing. And I think that's going to happen again with all the new earth technology and everything. So they'll have compassion for us and where we are on our journey. Is that a good answer? I don't know.
So good. I mean, I'll reiterate that because yesterday I was preparing for a guest that I interviewed in 2021, and I rewatched our first episode together, and like my whole body went into just this emotion of gratitude to seeing myself, almost 5 years before doing this in exactly the same way. But I was like, keep going, bro. Yeah, keep freaking going, man. Mm-hmm. Keep doing it. And if humanity could see that for itself, that's the greatest gift. So I think that's the perfect answer.
Yeah. Thank you. I had that same realization recently. I was like, oh my God, keep going, girl. You were a little bird in like a deer in headlights sharing that first message. And I'm like, good for you. Go, keep going. And it's true. I like that too. Okay. I like my answer now.
Yeah. And the best ingredient that you left for us as inspiration is your courage. So Pamela, I wanted to honor you for always taking those steps and listening to your heart, because that's led you to extraordinary places and sharing these beautiful messages with humanity. It's been such a gift, such an honor to get to know you and have you on the show. And I can't wait to keep doing these down the line. So thank you so much.
I feel the same exact way. I'm so happy to have been here, and I can't wait to come back again in the future.
For sure. Until next time. Thank you.
Bye.